medium iced caramel macchiato.
Medium?
Well, I heard about the discount code xCodeh for 0% off. Crazy.
Is it 0% off?
0% off.
0% off and there'd be nothing off. Okay.
So if you've seen one of my most recent videos, I mentioned that there was a time period where I'd always go down and hang out at a friend's house, where him and his mom would always argue, and I had a lot of really funny stories about it. In today's video, I have a 2-for-1 special life story commentary. But this life story starts out with my friend and I waiting in his driveway for some weed. I remember this day very, very distinctly because of what happened, but I remember I had like over $100, or it was either me and him together had that much money, or I just had like $100. I don't remember how I got the money, but I know that we were gonna plan on buying weed and smoking all of it that day. I remember we had this dealer that was just so awesome. We'd call him and literally 5 minutes later he'd show up. It was actually crazy. It was almost like he was waiting for us to call him sometimes. I remember one time we called him, and I'm not even joking, 2 minutes went by and he was there. He was probably honestly driving by, but it was just so crazy because, like, could you imagine calling your dealer, asking for weed, and then 2 minutes go by and he's there with it? It's like fucking instant delivery, man. But anyways, 5 or 10 minutes goes by, we get our weed, and I remember it was some dank weed. It was some like outdoor stuff, so it wasn't like the crazy chronic, but it was definitely some fire buds. And it had like this really nice smell to it. Kind of like the smell to just smell up your entire room. So after we said, you know, bye to the dealer, no one was home at my buddy's house. So we go inside. He's double scaling it out, and we got it scaled out when we bought it, but my friend always liked to make sure everything checked out. And then we decided to start smoking. So my friend had a bunch of bowls. We used to always pack like every bowl that he had. We were getting so baked because this was like definitely at a period of time where I'd smoke a couple hits and just get beyond fucking baked. So I remember smoking like 3 bowls and just like tapping out like I was done. I know. Motherfuckers in California, I know. I was like 14, keep in mind. But where the story really gets good is later that evening, around dinner time, when his mom was home and we were chilling in his room. I remember we were watching, I think it was either like a Token Daily video. It was one of like the YouTube stoners that I used to watch like way back in the day. And I remember he was smoking like a fat ass joint. And it inspired me. I was like, dude, do you have any rolling papers? Let's smoke a joint. And he's like, no, but I got this shoebox paper or some sort of paper that he had been rolling joints with. And he's like, dude, we could just use that. I have some of it in my basement. And I'm like, all right, man, because at the time, I mean, you know, we were smoking out of tin cans when we didn't have bowls, and we just didn't really care. Looking back on it, it's very hazardous to your health, and I never recommend it. But he went and got this paper, and you could roll with it. I don't know how we managed to do it. I actually have no idea. He gave me like a strip of this paper, and then he gave himself one. And we both had like a, you know, like a gram or something. We were trying to roll like 2-gram joints or something. And this is where the story gets crazy because I finished rolling up my joint and I have all the stuff on my lap. I have like a notebook and just like a bunch of like weed crumbs all over my lap and like a rolled joint. It wasn't the best, keep in mind. I was not very good at rolling at all, but it definitely would work. But it was just on my lap and my friend was almost done with his. And as soon as he's just like almost about to wrap it up, his mom just literally comes in the door, just like without fucking knocking anything, just opens the door and immediately is like, what's going on in here? Because I'm sitting next to the computer desk. I put the notebook underneath the desk so she can't see it, but it obviously smells like weed, man. We're rolling joints up in there. It's smelling so dank as soon as she walks in. It's probably like a wall of just fucking potent skunk. Just smacking her in the face. And she starts flipping out at my friend. You're smoking weed in the house. What the fuck? I told you not to smoke weed in the house. And my friend was literally like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Get the fuck out of my room. And I stood there. I was like, what? What the fuck did you just, what? She closed the door. She left. I was like, dude, what? You can't talk to your mom like that, man. That's fucked. And he's like, nah, dude, I do it all the time. It's fine. I'm like, dude, what? And every time he would ever do that after that, I'd always be like, dude, just calm the fuck down and be nice to your mom. I'd always say that in the middle of their conversations. He isn't like that now. I've never really heard him say that kind of stuff now, but back in the day, man, straight savage, bro. You should always be nice to your fucking parents. Don't be an asshole. But I remember just sitting there, like, smoking the joints, like, dude, like, what? I never knew you talked to your mom like that, man. I think he was just a pretty angry kid going through some times, teenage years. But still, it was pretty fucked up. But the second story is actually when his mom actually found out that we were smoking weed like every day, and she like got real mad at it. And I remember one time that she knew that my friend had weed. I didn't have anything, but she knew that he had weed. So she was like, all right, listen, I make a deal with you. I'll buy your weed. I have $40 right here. I'll buy your weed so you don't have any, all right? And my buddy looks at me. He gives me this look. I know he's scheming. He's got this scheming look on his face. Something is about to go in our favor. And my friend's like, all right, I'll get it for you in a bag. And she leaves the room. My friend goes over to me and he's like, dude, check this out, man. He takes all his weed out. And he grabs all the stems off of the fucking buds. Like, just the stems. There might have been one seed too. He puts all of it into a little cellophane end of a cigarette pack, the little plastic thing at the end of a cigarette pack. And then he gives it to her, and she gives us $40. She gives us $40 fucking dollars for these stems. She doesn't even know. And what did we do with it? We bought more weed, and then we smoked it all in his room. It was so those are the days. It was just a fun. It was a funny time. And it wasn't encouraged by me. I can tell you that, but I can guarantee it was definitely a fun time. And it's kind of funny how the times changed, because now, you know, his parents don't give a fuck that he smokes, and it's all chill now, and it was just so funny back then. But in all seriousness, guys, respect your parents, because they made you, bro. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. You guys have been killing it with the likes lately. Thank you for that. Let's shoot for like, 4,000. That'd be sick. Stay high, stay lifted. Peace.